All right. So, welcome to our after school special on Newsela. It's a interesting website that has been evolving over the last few years, and I thought it would be a great time to share it with you now that it has Google login, so our students and staff don't have to create separate accounts. So, at its base, Newsela is a newspaper and magazine website based in the United States. What it does is it takes news articles and magazine articles from around North America and the world, mainly the United States, and it has a group of editors that rewrite those articles at a number of different grade levels while ensuring that the main idea and content stays the same. So what you can imagine is that you get a lot of different reading levels with the same content, which for many of us who have a number of different reading levels in our class is a great way to do that. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to head to newsela.com and you're going to click on the sign in. And as you'll see here, now we've got sign in with Google. And the very first time you do that, it's going to ask for permission to use your account. You say yes, and you're in. There are two versions of Newsela, a free and a paid. The free has about 1,000 different articles written at a variety of different grade levels. And the pro allows you to do some additional tracking and quizzing of students. So to use an example here, if I was teaching grade 6 sky science, I might search for the planets, and I might find a number of articles. I can go ahead and refine my search by the grade level I'm looking for. At this case, probably something at around a grade 6 level, and I'm going to find a number. Once I find an article I'm interested in, maybe one that's got a lot of hearts or favorites, I can click on it and get right into the article. If you haven't created an account, you're going to find that you'll have a much limited, you'll only see a preview. So you and your students will need to link that account. So here's the article. It tells you they came from the Los Angeles Times, tells you the word count and the grade level. And over here, you'll see the different choices. So this one here only has a one lower level. So if I click on that, you'll see here that this is now a grade 4 level piece. So if you have students reading at grade 4 and above in your class, this might be a great article for you to choose. If you're looking for something a little lower, you might pick something with a grade 4 reading level or a grade 2 reading level, if that's what you have. And you'll see here that there's a more limited selection of grade 2 reading materials. So you'll have to find articles that fit for you on topics that fit for you. A couple of cool things that it does offer is that it does offer the ability to create classes that you invite your students to, much like with Google+. As you can see here, if you click on, it has a class code, much like Google Classroom. However, it also gives you a nice short link that you can email to your students. And when they click on it, it brings them right into a class list. So if I actually were to go into this class under classes, you would actually see a list of the students here. For example, this is a test account here. What this lets you do is assign reading to students as assignments so they can actually go ahead and do that. The other thing that's really interesting is recently they've introduced an elementary version, which you can toggle on, that will actually bring your students into the elementary version. And what the elementary version does is it limits the search. It just says elementary over here. It limits the search to articles that go down to grade 2 or that aren't as difficult to read. And for your students in elementary, this is a great place. So again, perhaps we are studying plants in grade 4. And I'm in the elementary version here. We can go ahead and take a look. Keep going through. You'll have the see all, so you can keep looking for more articles. I said there's about 1,000 in the free version, which is what I'm demoing here. But let's say here's an article that is something you want to look at. You'll definitely see that in the elementary version, you're going to see a drop down all the way to a 580, which I believe in their number is a grade 3. So it just gives you a better idea. Now, if you decide you like this, you can heart it if it's a great article. You can also go ahead and assign it to your class. Okay, and when you assign it to your class, what it's going to do is simply give it to those students in your class to read. You can go back under here to check out your assignments or those sorts of things under Binder. And you'll see here what there is. I've given a number of different things to read. It won't tell you if they have, it won't tell you their scores, but it'll tell you if they've read it and done the quiz at the end, which is the last piece of Newsela that's kind of interesting. For each of these articles, Newsela staff have created a simple a place for them to write out some thoughts and save them, and a place to actually take a small 4-question quiz. So this is something that you can do to invite your students to come in and take care of. Now, you're going to need to be able to pay for the pro version, which the pricing is variable. You actually have to contact them. I'm not sure what it is. But if you want the pro version, that'll let you see which questions they got right and wrong. But what this version here does, it just tells you if the student has read the article, and you know this because they've completed the quiz. So that's just something there, a little bit of accountability. It doesn't take too long. It's just 4 multiple choice questions. So that's Newsela in a nutshell. It's an interesting thing that might be of value to teachers who have a variety of learners in their classroom, because you can assign one article on one website to your entire class, yet still ensure that all of your students are able to read the content and do the quiz. I hope you found that useful. If you do find it interesting and useful, you find some other uses for it, please feel free to contact one of your TIPS team members to let us know how you're using it and if it's got additional value that we didn't indicate. And other than that, have fun giving your kids some high quality digital materials to read. Thanks so much.